Hey, it's Randy from Funeral Funds of America. In this video, I'm going to share with you the actual pricing for $10,000 worth of burial, cremation, final expense, life insurance, or funeral funds for a 64-year-old male. Now, the first thing I suggest is go directly to our website at funeralfunds.com. We've got these free quoters on just about every page. All you need to do is just click the state that you live in. We are licensed in all 50 states, by the way. Select the coverage amount. Put your birthday in there, put the rest of the info, click Get Quotes Now. It will take you to a page that's going to show you the best companies that offer the lowest pricing based off your age, gender, and the state that you live in. It's terrific. Take full advantage of that. You can also call us at 888-862-9456. You can talk directly with one of our agents. Now, the first thing we always recommend to a 64-year-old male looking at $10,000 worth of insurance is just deciding, is that an appropriate amount of coverage for your final expense needs? Now, typically final expense needs would be either cremation or burial. Now, the average cremation in the United States right now, where you just come home in a cardboard box or an urn, is right around $1,000 to $2,000. That's, again, coming home in a cardboard box or an urn, nothing fancy. If you're going to have a cremation and then have some sort of a celebration of life ceremony or remembrance ceremony, something like that, that's probably going to be $3,500 to $4,500, depending on where you live in the country. As far as coverage amounts for that cremation where you come home in a cardboard box or an urn, we would typically recommend, or most people would go with around $5,000 to $7,000 worth of coverage. Now, you might be saying, well, Randy, you said the cremation was $2,000, but then the coverage is $5,000. What's going on there? Well, what's going on is our 64-year-old male probably wants to make it to 74 and perhaps even 84 years old. And we just want to make sure that when we get this coverage, we inflation-proof the plan because we know prices will go up over time. And we want to get enough for the future as well, and not just cover our most immediate needs today. So what we do is we just add a little bit more coverage that future proofs and inflation proofs the plan in the future. And what it also does is, God forbid, if you did die a little sooner than anybody expected, on the front end, it provides extra money to maybe pay for some other bills, medical bills, credit card bills, something like that, that if given the gift of time, you would have eventually paid those off. Now, for the cremation with the ceremony, we would generally help people with around $7,000 to $10,000 worth of insurance. Again, inflation proofing the plan for the long term, adding extra funds in the short term, God forbid you did die. But you're locking in your rates at your youngest age. And if your policy is inflation proof, you'll never have to worry about this again in the future. Now, for burial, the actual cost of the burial right now in the United States is around $10,000. It's, if you walk into a funeral home with a $10,000 check, chances are they're going to get things done for you. It's hard to imagine they would say no, make you walk out the door and then, just walk a couple blocks down and talk with one of their competitors. But you have to understand, $10,000 for a burial right now, that's going to be a very simple, very kind of meager funeral. And we also know that if you did $10,000 right now, it takes care of the most immediate needs, but it's not inflation proof. So typically most people we help, age 64 men would be in that 10,000, 15,000, maybe even 20,000, depending if you had some kind of really special needs or kind of fancy arrangements for when you do pass away. So one thing we do have happen once in a while is that people would say, hey, I want to get not only take care of my final expenses, but also give some money to my children. So I'd like to get maybe $30,000, $40,000, $50,000. Let's choose $50,000. We get them a quote for that, and they're on a fixed or limited income, and it's just a little bit more than they can afford. So they go, well, if I can't do $50,000, I'm not going to do anything at all. And we have to remind them that they originally came to us to talk about the final expense insurance, because if they don't have anything, their kids are going to be forced to pay for this out of their own pockets. Typically, they're going to have to put it on a credit card. They'll be paying 26% interest. So we just really recommend people, take care of their final expense needs first. And then after that, what we often do is help people come up with a separate policy for money to go to the kids. And that's just a great way to handle it and split it apart like that. Now, one thing we always recommend is getting first day coverage or benefits. We do not recommend those 2-year waiting periods at all. And we're going to talk about that in a moment. But what first day coverage or benefits means is that hypothetically, if your plan were issued and approved today and you died tomorrow, the insurance company would have to pay out that full check for 10,000, 15, 20, 25,000, whatever it is. It's going to be the best coverage at the lowest pricing. Now, some people would say, hey, Randy, I do like that first aid coverage, but I'm not in the best of health and I'm worried I won't qualify. And we say, well, that's our concern, not your concern, at least from an insurance standpoint. What we mean by that is we work with a bunch of different insurance companies. They all have different health questions. They all have different underwriting. And really right now we're getting about 90 to 95% of the people we're helping are qualifying for first aid coverage or benefits. Really the only reason you wouldn't qualify is if you had some really significant health issues going on, like you had a terminal illness and you're going to pass away in the next 12 months, or you had dementia, or you were on dialysis or in a hospital or a nursing home, something like that. If that were the case, we would typically refer you out to a different insurance company. Also, it seems like every week we have somebody call us up and say, hey, we had a family member pass away this last week. They didn't have insurance. We don't have any money. The body's down at the funeral home. The funeral home director is not going to do anything till he gets a check in his hand. And so we need to get this insurance really quick so we can get a check from the insurance company to pay the funeral home guy. We have to let them know that there is no insurance company in the United States that's going to offer a policy on a dead person. Right? You got to be alive to qualify for this insurance. And it's sad that their family member passed away, but it's doubly sad that they didn't get this taken care of. They knew they were going to die someday. They probably thought about getting this insurance and they just put it off until one day they just went and died. And now their family members have to just pick up the pieces here and pay for this. And typically they're going to have to put it on a credit card, paying 26% interest, and they're going to be paying on this years and years and years. And what a terrible legacy to leave behind. I mean, you could have done everything else right in your world and waited until the last thing and didn't take care of this, and it will definitely affect how people look at you. So don't do that. This insurance is affordable. If you can't afford everything you want, just get started smaller, and we can always help you add more coverage. But yeah, leave a good legacy, not a bad legacy. Now, one thing we don't recommend is the plans with the 2-year waiting periods, as I mentioned. What that means is if you die in the first 2 years from any health or medical related cause, they will not pay out that policy. And Colonial Penn, you may recognize them. They've got all commercials. Seems like they've got their $9.95 commercials on, every 7 minutes on the TV, it seems. But yeah, that their $9.95 plan from Colonial Penn is a 2-year waiting period plan. We do not recommend that at all. You qualify for first aid coverage. Oh, I will show you why. Yeah, just don't do it. But Colonial Penn's not the only company out there that offers 2-year waiting periods. There's other ones, Mutual of Omaha, the United of Omaha line, AIG, Gerber. Gosh, there's so many other ones out there. And, some of these companies have done an amazing job of convincing the American public that if you're over age 50, the only thing you're going to qualify for is a plan with a 2-year waiting period, to which we always say, don't believe such nonsense. We help people with first aid coverage all day long. Now, as our male age 64 probably just got done watching that Colonial Penn TV commercial and is probably thinking, oh my gosh, I'm going to get a lot of insurance. That commercial was so slickly produced. And, really, for $9.95, I'm probably going to get 20,000, 30,000, 40,000. I bet I can even get 50,000. And then they talk with a Colonial Penn agent, or they go on their website and look at the prices like we're doing for you right now. And they see that a male age 64, 1 unit of coverage, $9.95, is only going to pay $949. Now, I don't think $949 is going to pay for a cremation in pretty much most of the country, and it wouldn't matter anyway if it did, because it's got a 2-year waiting period, and we know in 2 years things are going to be more expensive than they are right now. So why would you ever get a plan that was woefully inadequate just so that you could say you got $9.95? Of course, that's not even going to, if that doesn't take care of a cremation, what's that not going to take care of a burial, right? But, there's some people out there that would say that companies that offer these really low teaser rates, they do so not because they want you to buy that really low price teaser rate plan with very little coverage. They're just using that to get you into their marketing funnel, get your information and start marketing to you. And then they get you on the phone and they're happy to show you the lowest price plan, how measly the coverage is. And then they will try to upsell you to more coverage so it's more profitable to them. Now, we would never say Colonial Penn would ever do anything like that, but Some people seem convinced anyway. I guess you may want to just consider this on your own that, is $995 and $949 is not going to do you any good. So yeah, give that consideration. But we're looking at $10,000. So I'm guessing we're going to need around 10 units here because we can't buy it by 10,000. We got to buy it by the units, which makes it confusing, makes it come up with really odd numbers. See, that's not even enough. That's not 10,000. That's 9,490. We're going to have to go 11 units. There we go. And that's 10,439. When you sell by the unit, you end up with these really wackadoodle numbers like 10,439 instead of just $10,000. But you'll see it's $110. So is that a good deal? Let's find out what first day coverage is going to be, and you can determine for yourself. So here we go. We got 10,000 male, age 64 right here. Get quote. Let's go back and look at this again. This was roughly 10,000 for 110-ish. Oh my gosh. I got to go up and show you this just so I'm keeping me honest here. $10,000. We're always honest, by the way. $10,000. You can get that for $51. So and this is level coverage. Level means first day coverage. So what would you rather have? Would you rather have $10,000 in first day coverage and get that for $51? Or would you rather get $10,439, pay $110 roughly, and have a 2-year waiting period? Oh my gosh, right? Is there even a choice to be made? Yeah, because it's roughly $60 more a month. Let's do the math on that. $60 more a month, roughly, times 12 months, that's an extra $720 a year. And if you are a 64-year-old, lives to age 74, lives 10 years, will have overpaid right around $7,200 more than they should have on a $10,000 plan, just by going with the wrong company. Why would you ever do that? Why wouldn't you go with a lower price plan and keep that $7,000 in your bank account? We think that money's better off in your bank account versus an insurance company's bank account. Yeah, you need to be a smart consumer, and it's okay if you're not a smart consumer. We can help you be a smart consumer. Just let us help you get qualified for these lower rates. Let's look at some other companies though, because since we got this set up, 10,000, 51. You'll be able to see all these different companies here, but let's find. Oh, here's one like Lincoln Heritage, right? Fine company, I guess, but look at that pricing. 67 actually rounds up to 68. It is level coverage, but it's so expensive, right? So Lincoln Heritage has a deal where when you pass away, they will supposedly call 2 or 3 different funeral homes to get the lowest pricing, maybe do a couple other things, but they don't do that for free. They charge extra money for that. And it costs you more, and it'll cost you more every single month. So we're roughly $68. We're just rounding numbers, 68 minus 51. Lincoln Heritage is going to be right around $17 more a month. Well, let's do the math on that. $17 a month times 12 months is right around $204 a year more. And if our 64-year-old male makes it to 74, lives 10 years, you have overpaid roughly $2,040 more. So you got to ask yourself, is it worth paying an insurance company an extra $2,040 to roughly just to make 2 or 3 phone calls and do a couple other things that might only take an hour or so to do? Some people say that's a pretty dang good paycheck for the insurance company for an hour's worth of work. And it gets worse too, right? What if you live 20 years? You're going to overpay $4,000, right? More, $4,000 plus. So we don't recommend you do that. We recommend you just let us help you get qualified for the lowest price plan, which pays out the same. There's no sense overpaying. And then what we do is we actually provide a free funeral and estate planning guide. You can download that off our website. And once you download it, you can print it out. And then once it's printed out, you fill it out. And all you do is just write down who gets what goes where, and what you want happening after you're gone. And all your family needs to do is pull that out. We recommend you keep that funeral and estate planning guide with your insurance policy. And when they pull it out and start reading it, they will know exactly what you wanted done. And all they will have to do is execute your wishes. And they will be protected both financially, because they've got the insurance policy, but also protected emotionally because you've taken care of all their questions with the funeral and estate planning guide. And what a wonderful legacy to leave behind. They will know that you not only loved and protected them in life, but you loved and protected them that one last time in death. And what a wonderful legacy to leave behind. Want to leave a great legacy? Just reach out to us at funeralfunds.com. We've got a special quarter for our YouTube viewers, funeralfunds.com/YouTube. You can find the best companies with the lowest prices and take full advantage of that. It's a terrific resource for you shopping around. You can always call us at 888-862-9456, and one of our licensed agents can help answer any questions you have. But, if you've got an existing policy and you want us to see if we can get you lower pricing, or you just want to add coverage to that, we can help you with that. If you are looking for a brand new policy or just have some questions, we can help you out with that. But we look forward to helping you get the most amount of coverage for the least amount of money. We will be blessed to help you with this at some point in the future. Until that day comes, you stay safe, you take care, you have a nice day. Bye-bye.